morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Government downseizes budget by Rs 86 billion. Finance Minister admits to poor capital expenditure. Top leaders of three major ruling parties hold meeting. Coalition partners discuss MCC issue and local elections. SEE to take place physically from April 22, around 510,000 students expected to appear for the exam. Several Putin attacks targeting Somalia election delegates. Armed group Al-Shabaab claims responsibility for the attack. And Jota scores twice of Liverpool see-off Leicester. Reds keep clean Premier League title hopes alive. And now the news in detail. Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma downsized the budget by Rs 86 billion. Minister Sharma also said that the political parties are trying to forge consensus regarding the disputed MCC grant agreement. Unveiling the half-yearly review report of the budget at the Ministry of Finance yesterday, Finance Minister Sharma announced that the size of budget has been reduced by Rs 86 billion. In the current fiscal year, the incumbent government had introduced a replacement budget of Rs 1,632.83 billion by downsizing the budget announced by the previous government led by KP Sharma Oli. Now, the budget has been further downsized to Rs 1,546 billion. The ministry expects only 94.7% of the allocated budget will be spent during the current fiscal year. Finance Minister Sharma admitted that the capital expenditure has not been satisfactory so far because the replacement budget was brought without adequate preparations. While unveiling the report, Nepal Rashtra Bank officials said that it has become imperative to discourage imports in order to protect the country's economy. In a different context, Finance Minister Sharma said that the political parties are effortful to forge consensus regarding the disputed MCC grant agreement. Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba held a meeting with leaders of coalition partners including CPN Maoist Centre Chairperson Pushpa Kamal Dahal and CPN Unified Socialist Chair Madhav Kumar Nepal at Balwatar yesterday. During the meeting, the three leaders discussed about the contemporary political topics including the issue of MCC. The major parties are divided over the endorsement of the Millennium Challenge Corporation Compact from the Parliament. Similarly, the ruling parties have been discussing the issue of preparations for the local level elections after the cabinet meeting last Monday decided to hold the polls on May 13. Nepali Congress leader Dr. Shekhar Koirala also met with Maoist Centre Chair Dahal at his residence and held talks regarding the MCC and local level election, among other topics. Deputy General Secretary of CPN Unified Socialist, Dr. Vijay Kumar Paudel, has opened that the MCC grant agreement must not be endorsed in its current form as it has harmful provisions for the country. Speaking at a discussion organized by the party's youth wing in the capital yesterday, leader Paudel said that the MCC should not be passed in its current form. He clarified that the MCC has provision that it not favor of open market economy and the provision contracted with the existing law for the country. He also added that Nepal needs to take permission from India for constructing transmission lines under the project. Leader Paudel further said that a MCC is not clear about loan or grant, therefore the country cannot afford to accept the project at its expense of socialism. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 1,002 new cases of coronavirus across the country. Following the latest round of tests, the total cases of coronavirus in the country have climbed to 971,475, while the number of active cases has increased to 29,004. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, altogether 930,607 infected persons have recovered from the disease in the country. The death toll from coronavirus has climbed to 11,864 after the virus claimed 12 more lives yesterday. Nepal is currently among top 56 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. The USA tops the list with over 79.03 million confirmed cases, followed by India with over 42.53 million cases. Coronavirus has infected more than 406.11 million people across the world and claimed over 5.80 million lives. This year's secondary education examination is scheduled to take place physically from April 22 onwards. A report. Examinations Board yesterday unveiled the calendar for SEE with the decision to conduct this year's exams from April 22 through May 3. Chairperson of the board, Mahashram Sharma, said that the examinations will be conducted from 8 to 11 a.m. and will conclude on May 3. According to the routine published by the board, the first day of the SEE, scheduled for April 22, Friday, will be a compulsory English. The examinations of compulsory Sanskrit language and literature are also said to be held on the same day. Likewise, examinations of compulsory maths are to take place on April 24, Sunday, compulsory Nepali and English for non-Nepali students on April 25, Monday, and compulsory science and Sanskrit grammar and translation on April 26, Tuesday, according to the schedule. Examinations of compulsory social study, farm management, marketing, engineering, drawing, computer repairing and maintenance, and basic music will be held on April 27. Likewise, examinations of compulsory health, population and environment education, Veda and policy science, and all optional first subjects under technical stream including agriculture, electrical management, computer networking, and engineering surveying are set for April 28. All optional first subjects of general and Sanskrit, including compulsory Sanskrit education and optional math, will take place on April 29. Likewise, other optional subjects are scheduled April 30, May 1, May 2, and May 3. Chairman Sharma informed that the board set the calendar considering the local level elections. As many as 510,000 students are expected to attend this year's SEE. And now the news from economic front. The Dairy Development Corporation has increased the price of milk and milk produce. Organizing a press conference yesterday, the DDC informed that the price of milk has been increased by Rs 9 per litre. Currently, it costs Rs 76 for a litre of milk, and the increased price will come into the effect from February 11 today. Milk now will cost Rs 85 per litre. The meeting of the Board of Directors at DDC had taken this decision on Wednesday. As per the board decision, the price hike is however different based on locations. Accordingly, Rs 85 is fixed for the Kathmandu Valley, Hetauda, Biratnagar and Janakpur, while Rs 81 has been fixed for Butwal and Bhairava and Rs 79 for Nepalganj and Thangari. With the increase in price, farmers will be benefited with Rs 6.52 and the industrialist will get Rs 2.88 per litre. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. A suicide bomber targeting a minibus full of delegates involved in Somalia's parliamentary elections killed at least 6 people in Mogadishu, the ambulance service said, as the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab armed group claimed responsibility for the attack. The blast occurred early on Thursday as the vehicle was passing a busy junction on a road heading to a president's office in the capital of the East African nations. The area was densely populated when the blast occurred, and some of the victims, most of them civilians, are seriously wounded. Security officials Abdullahi Mukhtar told the AFP news agency. He said 6 people died and 12 were injured. The incident is still being investigated to know the exact details, but preliminary observation we have indicates that someone carried out the blast, he said. Mogadishu's main ambulance service confirmed the fatalities in a statement sent to a journalist but said the attack had wounded 13. Al-Shabaab, which aims to triple the central government and impose its own service interpretation of Islamic law, claimed responsibility for the attack, saying it killed 6 delegates and 5 police officers. Joe Biden has told American citizens to get out of Ukraine immediately and insisted that U.S. troops will not be involved in any rescue mission if Russia invades. The president gave his warning during an interview with NBC News as fears that Vladimir Putin will order troops into the country persist. American citizens should leave now. It's not like we are dealing with a terrorist organization. We are dealing with one of the largest enemies in the world, he said. It's a very difficult situation and things could go crazy quickly. Anchor Lester Holt asked the president if there was a situation in which he would send in U.S. troops to help Americans trying to flee the country. There's not. That's a world war when Americans and Russia start shooting at one another, and he added, we are in a very difficult world than we have ever been. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Diogo Jota scored twice as Liverpool cut their deficit to Premier League leaders Manchester City to 9 points with a dominant performance against Leicester at Anfield. Jurgen Klopp's side has a host of chances and reliable Portuguese forward Jota netted in each half, bouncing on Kasper Schmeichel's party from Virgil van Dijk header for the first before stoking a second late on. The Reds still have a game in hand on Champions City, and another commanding display suggests the title race may not yet be foregone conclusion. Fox's goalkeeper Schmeichel was inspired from and made crucial saves to twice deny Roberto Firmino and Luis Diaz on his full debut. Mohamed Salah came off the bench in the second half after returning from Africa Cup of Nations duty, and he too was unable to find a way post Schmeichel's. When he did, a sub-mile curling strike tackled the crossbar. Leicester will rue the missed opportunity from James Maddison at 0-0 as the Englishman found space down the left edge of the area, but his rising shot was pushed over the bar by Alisson. Leicester's poor season sees them stay in 12th place in the table, 10 points adrift of the Europa Conference League spot. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Government downsizes budget by Rs 86 billion. Finance Minister admits to poor capital expenditure. Top leaders of 3 major ruling parties hold a meeting. Coalition partners discuss MCC issue and local election. SEE to take place physically from April 22. Around 510,000 students expected to appear for the exam. Several killed in attack targeting Somalia election delegates. Armed group Al-Shabaab claims responsibility for the attack. And Jota scores twice as Liverpool see off Leicester. Reds keeps clean Premier League title hopes alive. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.